Good morning, guys. So now, after we finished the live session on Zoom, and I solved with you a small part of the worksheet, I'm going to repeat it here. So I will repeat from the beginning. This worksheet is related to the recorded video lecture, which is about the new lesson and vocabulary words and the comprehension, a new comprehension skill. Okay, so here I'm going to move question by question and help you to solve them. I'm going to start with the vocabulary worksheet. Exercise A. Answer each question with a vocabulary word from the bank. So you have the bank in front of you on the worksheet. You can go back to it since it's a worksheet and you can find the answer. Number one, which word would you use to describe something that you can view or see? So think of it. When you see something, you can view it. So it is what? Visible. Number two, which word would you use to describe the small grains of sand found at a beach? The sand is made up of small grains, tiny grains. Okay, like for example, the dust also in the sunlight, to find that it's made of small grains. These small grains, the small part, the tiny part, what do we call it? What did we agree? We call them particles. Which word would you use to describe water that can be found on the outside of a window? Remember, I explained it when it stops raining and on the edge of the window or on the eaves. What do you find if you look outside or on the floor or on the balcony or on the street or on the leaves? You find like dots of water, okay? So these, what do we call them? Moisture. Okay. Each sentence using the word provided in parentheses. Number one, she learned how to. To continue my sentence, I have to use the word repetition. So what can she learn? How to what? To make repetition? Maybe she learned how to make repetition during exercises. Maybe you might say this. Or I would use my example. She learned how to avoid repetition in her writing. So you see, I always tell you avoid repetition in writing. So do not repeat the same idea over and over. That's what we mean by avoid repetition in writing. Number two, erode. Wind and water can what? What can they do? The wind and water together. When wind comes and we have water, okay, they can erode. Erode what, for example? Where do you mostly see the wind with the water? On the beach, maybe. Can erode what? They can wash away what? Maybe the trash on the beach into the sea. Yes, you can say that. Or you can say wind and water can erode the waste on the beach into the sea. Okay, number three, formation. Okay, formation, again, we repeat, formation is to form something. It can take many years for what? Can take many years for formation of certain things, like what? Like fossils. It can take many years for the formation of fossils. It can take many years for the formation of a great staff in a huge company, for example. So we finished from part B. It's very easy. It's not difficult and not complicated. C, fill in the blank with the suitable word from the bank. Okay, just to fill in the blank. Number one, blah 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 of dust could be seen in the sunlight. And I even mentioned this example before. What can we see? What of dust can we see them in the sunlight? The particles, for sure, particles of dust. When rain comes in with very cold air, it freezes. When the rain comes in what? What do we mean here? Inside? For sure, not inside. So we have rain and we have cold water. What do they do together? They touch each other. Okay, so they come in contact. When rain comes in contact with very cold air, it freezes. Number three, I could see the on the outside of the window. Oh, it's very easy, and we have repeated it several times. I could see the moisture on the outside of the window. Number four, patterns are in shapes found in nature. Are what? What can we do to patterns? We can see them. So patterns are visible in shapes found in nature. Sorry. Number five, the beaver built a made of branches. Beaver is an animal and built. and he used the branches to build it. So he made what? A structure. 6. Over time, the cliff will what? The weather will erode the cliff. Okay? In the vocabulary worksheet, it's using words in sentences. It's very easy. You use each word in a sentence of your own. Okay, so visible. What can you give me example of visible? You gave me several examples in the live session. So visible, we can say that fires were visible on all sides. 2. Structure. What can we can use it in hundreds of sentences. The structure was damaged by fire, or my brothers destroyed my structure made of blocks. Formation. The teachers wanted a formation of a school behavior policy. Okay, so now everything is clear in the vocabulary worksheet. We can move to comprehension skill worksheet, which is about main ideas and details. Main idea and details, supporting details or key details. In exercise A, read each group, write main idea or detail next to each group of words. Number 1, it was the best year in the history of company. Costs were low that year and the output high. Also, there was a good person for each job and the market remained firm. Last, there were no losses from fire. Okay, so the ideas I have: no losses from fire, best year in the history of company, low costs. If you want to arrange these ideas according to the paragraph, you will start with what? Best year in the history of a company. So since it's at the beginning and it gives an overall idea, so this one is the main idea. No losses from fire is a supporting detail, and low costs also is a supporting detail. So the first one is detail, the second one is the main idea, and the third one is a detail. Number 2, this whole area is a great country for hunters and fishermen. There are great numbers of deer around here. There are bears, mountain lions, and coyotes. To the east, there are streams full of trout, and there are ducks and geese. So I think that now it's very clear and easy for you to figure out the main idea and the key details. Let's read the ideas. Bears, mountain lions, and coyotes. Streams full of trout, ducks, and geese. Great number of deer. Great country for hunters and fishermen. So the first one is what? For sure, a detail. Okay, since it says what we find in that country. Number 2, streams full of trout, ducks, and geese is also a detail. Great number of deer is also a detail. And the last one is the main idea, which is a great country for hunters and fishermen. Why is it a great country for hunters and fishermen? According to these supporting details. The third one, advertising affects our lives every day. Brand names are common household words. We start each day using the toothpaste, soap, and breakfast foods promoted by advertisers. Ads have made the cars we drive signs of our success. Even our choices of food, dress, and entertainment are swayed by ads. So here, what's the main idea? I can take it from the first sentence. Advertising affects our lives every day. So how advertising affects our lives, and how did they support this main idea? They gave examples by the brand names of household words and the products that we use daily, like toothpaste, soap, and breakfast food promoted by the advertisers, and also by the cars. Okay, so food promoted by advertisers is what? Is a detail. Advertising affects our daily life is what? Is the general idea, the main idea. Cars are signs of our success is what? Also a detail. Okay. Comprehension worksheet. In the comprehension skill part, read the following paragraph, then fill in the organizer with the main idea and supporting detail. Here you have to fill the organizer on the next slide with the required information. Yellowstone National Park is mainly located in Wyoming, although 3% is located in the state of Montana. The continental divide of North America runs diagonally through the southwestern part of the park. The park sits on the Yellowstone Plateau, which is an average elevation of 8,000 feet above sea level. This plateau is bounded on nearly all sides by mountain ranges. There are 290 waterfalls that are at least 15 feet in the park, the highest being the lower falls of the Yellowstone River, which falls at 108 feet. So when you read this paragraph, ask yourself, what is the heart of this paragraph? What is the main idea? And where can I get it from? I get it from the beginning of the paragraph. And it talks about what? About Yellowstone National Park. So the main idea here is what? Fill in the organizer with the main idea. The main idea is Yellowstone National Park is mainly located in Wyoming, although 3% is located in the state of Montana. Okay, so here this is the main idea. And the supporting details, where do I get them from? I get them from the paragraph itself, but after the main idea. What I want you to pay attention to is to avoid writing examples in the details. When you find a sentence that starts with, for example, it includes, or for example, there are, this I cannot consider it as a main detail because this example supports the detail itself. So detail one here is what? The continental divide of North America runs diagonally through the southwestern part of the park. Because since it talks about how it's located and how 3% of it is located in Montana and the other is located in Wyoming. So I have to start with the details that support this idea. The first one says that it diagonally runs through the southwestern part of the park. Detail 2, the park sits on the Yellowstone Plateau, which is an average of elevation of 8,000 feet above sea level. So now I move to the sea level. Above how many feet above sea level? Detail number 3, there are 290 waterfalls that are at least 15 feet in the park. In this way, I finished my comprehension skill and my vocabulary exercises. And if you notice that the comprehension skill main idea and key is very easy, very simple. What I have to pay attention to it is that the main idea is the heart of the paragraph, the general idea that the paragraph talks about, and the details are the ideas that support this main idea. So hope this video benefited you and helped you to solve the worksheet. See you next week. Bye.